Right now, assuring skeptics, President Biden making a stop at Madison Friday, working to dismiss concerns about his age. We have the details ahead. Plus, a supreme win for a Wisconsin voter mobilization group. The state's high court deciding ballot drop boxes are illegal. We're following the reaction. And we've got a mostly quiet Saturday on tap today. Jake will have the details in the first warm forecast coming up. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on Weekend Mornings. I'm Kyle Pazorski. It is Saturday, July 6th. Let's begin by taking a look outside. Jacob is here for what the day had be like. Good morning, Jacob.
Good morning, Kyle. And if you notice as you looked outside, it's pretty foggy out for a few locations. Now, temperature-wise, we're fairly normal, but looking outside, you could see that visibility isn't quite perfect right now. The good news is that we are seeing some comfortable temperatures nonetheless, and temperatures across the area are already in the 60s for pretty much everybody. So it is a fairly nice morning, but as I've been talking about, there are some areas dealing with some fog still. Visibility down to a quarter of a mile for places near Mineral Point to Monroe. So mostly in the far southern and far southwestern portion of the state, but some visibilities are down for those of you near La Crosse. But the fog is expected to clear out pretty quickly, and we are going to see sunshine for a good portion of the day. Now, as far as precipitation goes, we're pretty much seeing none of it right now, and we, for the most part, are going to remain dry during the day. Can't rule out a passing shower or storm, but overall, we'll see mostly sunny to partly sunny skies. Highs will be in the middle to upper 70s. It's going to be a very nice day. The winds are going to be down as well. And for La Crosse, much of the same. Maybe temperatures a bit warmer as they could creep up into the lower 80s, but otherwise expect mostly highs in the 70s. So get out and enjoy the weather today. And for the most part, Sunday will be nice as well, but we do have a chance of some rain. I'll take you through the timing on that coming up a bit later.
Jacob, thank you. We'll check back in just a bit. Of course, the big story from Friday, another visit to Wisconsin for President Joe Biden, this time to Madison's north side. He arrived at the Dane-County Regional Airport Friday afternoon, staying on the north side to give a speech at Sherman Middle School. It was throughout the speech where Biden touted some of his accomplishments while also trying to draw a distinction between him and former President Donald Trump. News 3 Now political reporter Will Keneally reports from inside the speech.
He first introduced me to Wisconsin a long time ago when I was a kid. I'm only 40 now, but I was a kid.
President Biden didn't shy away from the elephant in the room during his rally in Madison on Friday. Questions about the future of his campaign based on last month's debate.
Can't say it was my best performance. We love it, Joe. But ever since then, there's been a lot of speculation. What's Joe going to do? Well, here's my answer. I am running and going to win again.
The questions about whether he is too old to run, Biden dismissed them by talking up his record.
I wasn't too old to create over 15 million new jobs. To make sure 21 million Americans are insured under the Affordable Care Act.
During the president's visit, News 3 Now got a separate behind-the-scenes look at Biden meeting with voters in Madison. And throughout the speech, he stressed the importance of the Biden faithful that delivered Wisconsin for him and who he hopes won't stay home in November.
Millions of Democrats like you just voted for me in primaries all across America. You voted for me to be your nominee, no one else.
Now, Biden was introduced by big-name Democrats like Governor Tony Evers. Notably absent, though, was Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin. She was campaigning near Green Bay today and said her reason to miss the Madison speech was to focus on the voters.
Is there a reason you're not going to be joining him in Madison tomorrow?
Because we've planned this Fired Up for Tammy tour for a long time.
Biden now heads to Pennsylvania for the weekend. Reporting in Madison, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Now, President Biden continues to answer questions about his ability to serve another 4 years in office. In an exclusive interview Friday with ABC News anchor George Stephanopoulos, he says his medical team is regularly assessing his health.
Are you more frail?
No.
I know you spoke.
Keep my schedule.
I know you spoke with your doctor after the debate. What did he say?
He said, he just looked at me and said, "You're exhausted." I said, "Look, I have medical doctors travel me everywhere. Every president does, as you know. Medical doctors, some of the best in the world, travel me everywhere I go. I have an ongoing assessment of what I'm doing. They don't hesitate to tell me if they think there's something wrong."
ABC News says they also offered a sit-down with former President Donald Trump, but he declined. Now, Friday's visit all comes as Trump's polling average over the president has grown slightly larger. In the latest New York Times Siena College poll, Trump leads Biden 49 to 41% among registered voters. This poll came after last week's CNN debate. Biden's job approval rating has fallen to 34%, while 62% say they disapprove. The findings are based on more than 1,500 registered voters questioned from June 28th through July 2nd. And it's a tighter race in the latest Marquette Law School poll. Biden and Trump are tied at 50% among registered Wisconsin voters, but Trump gets the edge, 51% to 49% when it comes to likely Wisconsin voters. It is, however, worth noting this poll was conducted before the presidential debate. A total of 781 registered Wisconsin voters were polled. Biden is looking to recoup support here in Wisconsin. Friday's visit was actually his second to Madison in the last 3 months. In early April, he made a stop at Madison College, announcing a student debt forgiveness plan. That was the Biden administration's second attempt at a sweeping student debt relief plan after the Supreme Court struck down an earlier White House plan in June of last year. Of course, it hasn't just been Biden making visits to Wisconsin. Other members of his administration have as well, including Vice President Kamala Harris. She was last here in March, promoting an executive order expanding apprenticeship programs. Harris spoke to workers at a new Metro Transit building construction site on Hanson Road. And late last summer, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden came to Madison and Verona. Her visit focused on the White House's initiative to prevent millions of cancer-related deaths. She then spoke to educators at Verona's Glacier Edge Elementary School. It was the first time a sitting First Lady visited Madison since Michelle Obama did back in October of 2014. And then back in February of last year, President Biden flew to Madison and was taking the short distance north to DeForest, where he spoke about his economic policy at a union training center. This was the day after he delivered his 2023 State of the Union address. All of these visits are part of the clear strategy by the Biden administration in the lead up to this November's election. Moving on to some news elsewhere across Wisconsin, we begin with the state Supreme Court. Ballot drop boxes are once again being allowed in the state. This after a 4-3 decision on Friday. It was in 2022 when the court decided ballot drop boxes could not be housed in local election clerks' offices and not out in other public spaces. But after Justice Janet Protasewicz's win last year flipped the court to a liberal majority, a voter mobilization group asked the court to take another look.
Every other state in the Midwest, including our neighbors Iowa, Illinois, Minnesota, Michigan, Indiana, all allow voter drop boxes. And the fact that it was prohibited 2 years ago was an outlier. It never should have been done. And the Supreme Court actually righted a very wrong decision that was made 2 years ago.
All three conservative justices on the court dissented, criticizing their liberal counterparts for ignoring the previous decision. And we have new information in the shooting leaving one man dead in Columbus. It happened on Thursday, just hours ahead of the town's 4th of July parade. The victim has since been identified as 42-year-old Jose de Jesus Fuentes Hernandez of Columbus. The suspect, a 22-year-old Jonathan Javier Luna, also of Columbus, is now facing a first-degree intentional homicide charge. Police Chief Dennis Weiner telling us the public was instrumental in helping them find Luna.
I'm getting email with video links from citizens that saw the press releases of helpful video. Essentially, at the onset of the case, we had nothing. We got good information from the public. One specific contact from the public provided a nugget of information of something they saw that led us to the suspect.
Columbus police tell us the two had some sort of interaction outside of a bar in the downtown area, which ended in gunfire. Luna was arrested hours later in Madison. In central Wisconsin, some residents are back in their homes this morning in Manawa after authorities said the dam on the Little Wolf River was compromised with major damage. It had prompted earlier evacuations the day after the city received more than 4 inches of rain. The flash flooding at one point blocked all entrances to the city. Some roads are still closed, with residents living near the river having been told to stay cautious. And this was the scene Friday morning on the Lake Michigan shore near Green Bay. It is wreckage left over from Thursday night when a 58-year-old Minnesota man crashed his boat. He struck a stone wall just north of the Kewanee Lighthouse. First responders transported all 4 people on the boat to shore. 2 people were hurt, and one of them was taken to a medical facility with non-life-threatening injuries. The other was treated on the scene. Investigators are looking into exactly what happened. Time now is 8:09 on weekend mornings. Still ahead, some international news, including new ceasefire talks in Gaza. And let's take a live look outside this morning. Jake will have the full forecast just ahead. Plus, it should be a good weekend for golfing. We've got some tips for improving your swing. That's all ahead on weekend mornings.
I'm feeling the wrist and hands hinge while I extend that arm.
Need help with a consumer issue? Contact News 3 Now's Call for Action.
Introducing the new Sushi Lover Madison. All-you-can-eat sushi and hibachi at an amazing price. Now open at Westtown Mall for lunch or dinner. Be sure to try Sushi Lover Madison.
Certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
For Imprint certain?
Certainty matters. 4imprint is your home for promo gear to wow clients and inspire your team. Check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain. Hansen's knows that your home is a place of comfort and protection. That's why our durable, energy-efficient, and weather-resistant windows, roofing, siding, and gutters, as well as our bathtubs and showers, are guaranteed. With over 30 years experience and thousands of 5-star reviews, we're your trusted home improvement expert. Get 60% off installation or enjoy no interest and no payments for 1 year. Call 1-800-HANSONS. Get it done.
Introducing new Advil Targeted Relief, the only topical pain reliever with 4 powerful pain-fighting ingredients that start working on contact to target tough pain at the source for up to 8 hours of powerful relief. New Advil Targeted Relief.
To stay on top of my game, I need to keep up my energy.
Cliff Bar is purposely crafted with 10 grams of protein and organic oats.
Because the more good you put in, the more great you get out.
Cliff, the most important ingredient is you.
Why always the couch? Does he need to go to puppy school? Get his little puppy diploma? How much have I been spending on this little guy?
When your questions about life turn into questions about money, there's Erica, the virtual financial assistant to help you spend, save, and plan smarter. Only from Bank of America. What would you like the power to do?
Madison Mallards Baseball brings you a night of fireworks on the base paths. And after the game is over, don't miss the Mallards' next fireworks night, Saturday, July 13th against the Minnesota Mud Puppies. Get your tickets today. News 3 Now is a proud sponsor of Madison Mallards Baseball.
Introducing the new Sushi Lover Madison. All-you-can-eat sushi and hibachi at an amazing price. Now open at Westtown Mall for lunch or dinner. Be sure to try Sushi Lover Madison.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You're watching News 3 Now, voted Best News Operation of the Year 2023 by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association.
Welcome back. If you're looking to better your golf game, the George Vitens Golf Academy is providing tips to help you lower your score. Here this morning is Joel Wines showing us the proper wrist hinge in your golf swing.
In today's lesson, I'm talking about the importance of the wrist hinge in the golf swing. A significant amount of energy can be created just by using your arms and your wrists. Now I add the rotational component, and I add a tremendous amount of energy on top of the wrist hinge. How do you do it? I keep that leading arm extended. As I go back, I'm ensuring that arm stays out. I'm feeling the wrist and hands hinge while I extend that arm. On the other side, the finish, I'm ensuring that that right arm is extended. And as I continue through, all the way through, I'm feeling that rehinging on the finish. Now putting it together, I swing back with the hinge, swing around, feeling the hinge up down, and around. I'm Joel Weitz, PGA professional. Improve your play in the fundamental way.
Let's check in now with Jacob. It's going to be a pretty decent day if you do plan to be outside to go golfing, isn't it?
Yeah, temperatures are going to be very comfortable, especially considering this is the warmest time of the year, and we're not expecting any rain either. Now, for the whole weekend, we are going to be mostly quiet, but we could see a few passing storms Sunday, but most of the day will remain dry. But warmer temperatures are also in the forecast by next weekend. So here's a look at that forecast for today. Very nice, upper 70s, plenty of sunshine. We could see a few locations get to the lower 80s, but still at the warmest, it'll be right near average, which is 82 degrees for this time of the year. Now, looking at tomorrow, temperature-wise, it's going to be very similar, but we are expecting a few showers and thunderstorms. But as I talked about just a moment ago, we are going to be dry for a good portion of the day. So here's a look at Futurecast. This is starting Sunday at 1:30. We're not expecting any rainfall today, but we could see a line of showers and storms moving to our area from the southwest during the early morning hours on Sunday. But for each individual location, this line of rain will likely not last very long. It could produce some heavy rain, but it should be in and out of each individual area fairly quickly. And this is also going to be very early in the morning. By the time we get to the afternoon, we could be seeing plenty of sunshine before more showers and storms enter our area later in the day, kind of closer to sunset, as it once again will move into our area from the southwest and push northeast. The best chance of rain during this time will be for areas north of Dane County, and those of you in the central portion of the state could see the rain last a little bit longer. But once again, in southern Wisconsin, we're only talking about rainfall for a brief period. So although rain is likely at some point, we're not going to see that much of it on Sunday. And as we get into the overnight hours Sunday, we are going to see a few isolated showers, maybe some storms or two. But by Wednesday or Monday morning, we are going to see dry conditions return. So total precipitation is not expected to be much, especially in the southern portion of the state. Now, there could be a few isolated locations that, if those locations do see a few thunderstorms, could have rainfall totals up near an inch. But overall, we're talking about 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch at most. Now, beyond that, temperatures are going to warm up. By next weekend, we are going to see those highs in the middle to upper 80s, and it also will be rather humid. So we may be talking about a return of the 90s, which it feels like it's been a few weeks since we've seen that, and especially considering this is the time of year where we would see the most 90s. Now, looking at La Crosse's forecast, because of the dry air, the temperatures may rise a bit more than they will in Madison. So highs may be in the middle 80s as early as Tuesday, but by the end of the 10-day forecast, we're talking about highs in the upper 80s. Now, for Madison, as I mentioned, it will take a little bit longer for those highs to get into the middle 80s, likely not until next weekend. But by the time we get there, the humidity will be up, and so the heat index values will likely be in the 90s. Now, as far as rainfall goes, we're not expecting that much of it, and we could definitely use a little bit of a break from the rainfall considering how much we've seen. There's no days that we're even considering to put an alert day in the forecast, but we could see some of those showers and storms tomorrow and then again on Monday.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Some international news. Israel is expected to weigh Hamas's latest response to a U.S.-backed proposal for a phased ceasefire in Gaza. The U.S. has rallied world support behind a plan that would see the release of all the scores of hostages still held by Hamas in return for a lasting truce and the withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza. As for the fighting continues in the Russia-Ukraine war, a new batch of about $2.3 billion in U.S. military aid will soon be on its way to Ukraine in an announcement made from Washington this week. The package includes some materials desperately needed on the front lines in that conflict. And across the pond, the United Kingdom has a new prime minister and new political party in power. Labour leader Keir Starmer met with King Charles III Friday to officially become the British prime minister a day after his party's landslide victory. In his first speech in his new role, Starmer acknowledged people's cynicism about politics.
This lack of trust can only be healed by actions, not words. I know that.
In his resignation speech, outgoing Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said he takes full responsibility for the loss. His Conservative Party had been in power for 14 years, a time marked by Brexit and multiple leadership changes. Now to consumer news, a device for babies is being recalled, and the latest job numbers are now out. Michael George has the details.
U.S. employers continue to hire, but unemployment is creeping up. The Labor Department says the economy added a healthy 206,000 jobs in June. However, numbers from April and May were revised down by more than 100,000 jobs, and the unemployment rate ticked up from 4% to 4.1%. An important consumer alert about a sound machine for babies. Hatch Baby is recalling more than 900,000 power adapters sold with Rest first generation sound machines because they pose an electrical shock hazard. Customers should stop using the recalled adapters immediately and contact Hatch for a free replacement. And more Americans are finding it harder to afford a home. The real estate analytics firm Adam looked at close to 600 counties nationwide. They found the majority of homeowners are spending about a third of their wages on housing costs, including mortgage payments, taxes, and insurance. Home prices hit record highs this year. Insurance costs are on the rise, and mortgage rates are just under 7%. Those are some of the week's top consumer stories. I'm Michael George, CBS News, New York.
And our time now is 8:20. Still ahead, Jacob will have a quick check at today's forecast, how much rain and when it is coming. Plus, there are several new shows and movies to check out this weekend. Will Loper will share his picks and 3 things to watch next on Weekend Mornings.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message. Our Constitution has given us more rights, freedoms, and prosperity than any country in history. Every 4th of July, we come together to celebrate those freedoms. But right now, we're a divided nation. We have to stop putting on the blue jersey or red jersey. Instead, put on the red, white, and blue jersey. Come together and get things done. I'm proud to be an American.
What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable raccoon? Attack.
Bark!
Attack! It's not easy taking out the trash. That's why you need strength that's anything but ordinary. Hefty, hefty, hefty.
Blocked from watching the big match? Save the day by using the Bank of America customized cash rewards card and choose to earn 3% cash back on online purchases, like live streaming.
My moderate to severe plaque psoriasis held me back. Now with Skyrizi, I'm all in with clearer skin. Things are getting clearer. I feel free to bare my skin, yeah, that's all me. Nothing is everything. Whoa. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And most people were clearer even at 5 years. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to.
Now's the time. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Shopping online for a Purple mattress? We get it. With Purple's unique Gel Flex grid and multiple foam layers, you'll experience effortless sleep that's motion adaptive, temperature balanced, pressure relieving, and ultra supportive. But which Purple mattress is right for you? Come to Denver Mattress and test for yourself. Let our expert sales staff guide you to your perfect Purple. And rest easy knowing it's backed by our 365-night better sleep guarantee. Shop Purple at Denver Mattress, the easiest way to find your perfect Purple.
Fire up the grill and get brats and buns for just $1 this Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee. Now that's a meal deal. Get Hy-Vee's famous brats for just $1. Choose from 12 flavors of brats for just $1 each. And get 8 Hy-Vee buns for just $1. Burger buns for just $1 too. And while you've got the grill going, throw on some mouth-watering burgers. Fresh ground chuck, only $3.98 a pound. Friday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Well, we've been talking about just how much rain we've seen over the last couple of weeks. Here's a look at the rainfall from just the first 6 days in July. Now, most of this is from last Tuesday, where we saw 2.5 inches in 1 day alone. But because of that, we are now over 2 inches above average already to start July. But more importantly, throughout throughout the entire year, we are now over 8 inches above normal. And last year, we were well below average up to this point in the year. Now, going forward, we are likely going to see rain at some point on Sunday, but it certainly won't be a washout, and we're not going to see that much of it. And we may continue to see some showers Sunday night into Monday. And then throughout next week, we do have a few small chances of rainfall. Looks like the best chance beyond Monday will be on Wednesday. But overall, we're not expecting that much, as I've been talking about. And looking beyond the 7-day temperature outlook, here's the 8 to 14-day precipitation outlook. It looks like we'll see near average precipitation, which means we'll probably see some rain every few days. But again, right now in the forecast, we aren't even close to having an alert day for rain or severe weather. So it looks like, for the most part, we're going to take a little bit of a break from the heavy rainfall over the next week or so.
Jacob, thank you. A few good movies have been added to the major streaming services this week. Our Loper shares a few to check out in this weekend's 3 Things to Watch.
Let me guess. Foley.
Did you say Foley? Newly streaming on Netflix is the film Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F.
Jane. Hey, this is your father. Before you hang up, I'm in town. I've been arrested. Hello?
Eddie Murphy returns as the iconic 80s character, teaming up with old buddies when his daughter finds herself in trouble.
Axel, if you damage any city property...
You're in a snowplow?
Yeah, we're in a snowplow. What's the problem? A lot of blind spots in the snowplow.
Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. is streaming on Netflix now.
You're a blessing, Mr. Clay. This place was crabgrass and weeds, and you brought it back to life.
Newly streaming on Amazon Prime Video is the film The Beekeeper.
I just got a message saying that there's a problem with my computer.
Yes, ma'am. We got this.
Jason Statham grits his teeth and takes down bad guys who scam old people out of their money.
I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
The Beekeeper is streaming on Amazon Prime Video now.
A beekeeper? Well, that's not good. We've discovered a signal.
And newly streaming on Max is the 2024 film Godzilla Kong: The New Empire.
Is that a mini Kong?
If you're in the mood for a movie that explores a secret underground world of giant apes who ride around an ice-breathing lizard monster, well, have I got the movie for you. Godzilla Kong: The New Empire is streaming on Max now. Those are the 3 things you need to watch, and this is Will Loper for Weekend Mornings.
And coming up next, a look at our top morning headlines. Stick with us. You're watching Weekend Mornings.
It's a great time to have RG Heating and Air Conditioning check your home's furnace system for safety and efficiency. RG services all brands and installs quality Trane equipment to keep your home running smooth year-round. Call RG Heating and AC today.
Don't burn up your money on high energy bills. Get new energy-efficient windows from Champion. Stay cool and save 35% off new Champion windows. Plus, get an extra $100 off every window. The more you buy, the more you save.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
Stop waiting for online orders. Rock Auto Parts ship in a few hours, 24 hours a day. On the carrier you choose, with tracking at each step.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
Taking the time to savor Thomas's crunchy yet soft bagels.
Thanks, Tom.
It's Tom, actually. Right, Tom. Tom. You doing that on purpose?
Tam.
Tam. How have we got to Tam?
Huzzah! A toast to breakfast. Introducing new Advil Targeted Relief, the only topical pain reliever with 4 powerful pain-fighting ingredients that start working on contact to target tough pain at the source for up to 8 hours of powerful relief. New Advil Targeted Relief.
To stay on top of my game, I need to keep up my energy.
Cliff Bar is purposely crafted with 10 grams of protein and organic oats.
Because the more good you put in, the more great you get out.
Cliff, the most important ingredient is you.
Why always the couch? Does he need to go to puppy school? Get his little puppy diploma? How much have I been spending on this little guy?
When your questions about life turn into questions about money, there's Erica, the virtual financial assistant to help you spend, save, and plan smarter. Only from Bank of America. What would you like the power to do?
Certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
For imprint certain?
Certainty matters. 4imprint is your home for promo gear to wow clients and inspire your team. Check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain. Talk about fireworks. Check out these offers during the extended 4th of July sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Save up to $200 on our Doctor's Choice lineup. And check out the Factory Direct Summit. Now only $299.99. Purchase a Tempur-Pedic and score a $300 gift, plus 5 years no interest and free shipping. But hurry, the extended 4th of July sale at Denver Mattress ends soon.
Brothers Maine enjoys 4th of July festivities with family, friends, and fabulous kitchen and laundry deals. Our fireworks of savings on GE appliances and free delivery will make you ooh and ah. Feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Now at 8:30, a presidential visit to Madison looking to assure voters that Biden is capable of another 4 years in office. And we've got a mostly quiet Saturday on tap today. Jake will have the details in his first warm forecast coming up. That's all ahead here on Weekend Mornings, and good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Pazorski. We do have some rain in the forecast for this weekend, but today is going to be mostly dry. Let's send it over to Jacob for a look at your Saturday forecast. Good morning, Jacob.
Good morning, Kyle. And if you remember from just 30 minutes ago when we had the view outside, it certainly was a lot foggier than it is right now. A lot of that fog is clearing up and will continue to clear up pretty quickly. But the temperatures are also very comfortable. 66 degrees right now under mostly cloudy skies, calm wind, pretty high humidity, which is also why we are seeing that fog. Temperatures across Wisconsin are in the middle 60s, so pretty much the entire area have already risen into the lower 60s. We did have some 50s earlier in the morning, and the fog is also improving. Mineral Point Monroe had visibility down to a quarter mile just 30 minutes ago. It is improving, and it will continue to improve throughout the late morning and shouldn't be an issue for much longer. Now, as we take a look at the current radar, completely dry, and that's going to be the forecast for much of today. Can't rule out a passing shower or isolated storm, but I'd say most of our area will be completely dry, and we also are going to see sunshine with highs in the upper 70s, so it's going to be a very comfortable day. Very little wind as well. A few locations could creep up into the lower 80s, but for the most part, I would say enjoy the weather. It's going to be very comfortable, and tomorrow will be comfortable as well, although we do have some rain. I'll take you through the timing on that in just a moment.
All right, Jacob, thank you. To our top story, President Biden made a visit to Madison on Friday, the second so far this year, and what is sure to be a big election. Throughout the speech at Sherman Middle School, Biden touted some of his accomplishments while also trying to draw a distinction between him and former President Donald Trump. As for the questions about whether he is too old to run, the president dismissing them entirely.
I wasn't too old to create over 15 million new jobs. To make sure 21 million Americans are insured under the Affordable Care Act.
The president was greeted by big-name Democrats, including Governor Tony Evers, former Wisconsin Governor Jim Doyle, along with Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway. Biden is now headed to Pennsylvania to continue campaigning this weekend. It was ahead of President Biden's visit to Wisconsin, where Republicans hosted a call with Congressman Brian Stile and Senate candidate Eric Hovde. Chairman Brian Schimming saying the Biden campaign is in crisis following Biden's performance at last week's CNN debate.
In the span of less than 10 days, the Biden campaign has gone from one of confidence to calamity to crisis. Confidence that they could still win this election to calamity at the debate to crisis right now. The Democratic Party nationally and in Wisconsin is in disarray.
Earlier this week, Biden told a Milwaukee radio station that he made a mistake with his performance, but urged voters to judge him on his record at the White House and not on 90 minutes on stage. Well, after the president's shaky debate performance last week, his visit, as we've been reporting, looked to reassure voters that he is fit for another term. Our Ellie Liliberte spent the day Friday talking with local voters to hear their thoughts.
We appreciate what he's done, and it's time to pass the torch.
I'm here because I support the candidacy of Biden-Harris 2024.
Our two major parties are both corrupt to the core.
A key moment for the Biden campaign. Hundreds of voters in Madison came out to voice their opinions about the president. For the first visit to swing state Wisconsin since his debate against Trump, people carried signs calling for the president to step down.
My sign is a message to Joe Biden.
To supporters.
I'm proud to support them.
To protesters. Repeating the message from Biden's last visit to the Wisconsin Capitol, calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. And those upset with both Trump and Biden.
We aren't given choices unless you vote third party, and third party candidates have a very difficult time winning.
Mixed opinions.
90 minutes of bad does not undo the 3.5 years of good. And it is good.
There's no way that Joe Biden can win my vote.
Proving Wisconsin's importance for November. Reporting in Madison, Ellie Liliberte, News 3 Now.
Some more local news. A home in Sun Prairie was heavily damaged after a fire on Friday morning. Officials were called to a home on Allen Avenue, a block north of Main Street. The Sun Prairie Fire Department says the fire started outside and led into the garage and the rest of the home. The home suffered about $250,000 worth of damage, with most of the damage to the garage. 2 individuals and a dog were able to get out and were not injured. New information in the shooting leaving one man dead in Columbus. It happened Thursday, just hours ahead of the town's 4th of July parade. The victim has since been identified as 42-year-old Jose de Jesus Fuentes Hernandez of Columbus. The suspect, 22-year-old Jonathan Javier Luna, also of Columbus, is now facing a first-degree intentional homicide charge. Police Chief Dennis Weiner telling us the public was instrumental in helping them find Luna.
I'm getting email with video links from citizens that saw the press releases of helpful video. Essentially, at the onset of the case, we had nothing. We got good information from the public. One specific contact from the public provided a nugget of information of something they saw that led us to the suspect.
Columbus police tell us the two had some sort of interaction outside of a bar in the downtown area, which ended in gunfire. Luna was arrested hours later in Madison. Time now, 8:36 here on Weekend Mornings. Still ahead, you look at the powerful hurricane headed towards the American Southwest. Plus, here's today's day in history.
What's up? You need some windows?
Howdy. Oh, you need windows, yes you do.
Hey folks, you call the experts? Increase your curb appeal and save big this summer with free installation on windows, siding, doors, and roofing. Plus, no interest for 5 years. And we'll get it done Feldco fast. Free installation ends soon. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Dad, are you certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters, like the certainty of 4imprint, your home for high-quality promotional gear, including exclusive items and brands they love. Printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time. To wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team, check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Blocked from watching the big match? Save the day by using the Bank of America customized cash rewards card and choose to earn 3% cash back on online purchases, like live streaming.
Shopping online for a Purple mattress? We get it. With Purple's unique Gel Flex grid and multiple foam layers, you'll experience effortless sleep that's motion adaptive, temperature balanced, pressure relieving, and ultra supportive. But which Purple mattress is right for you? Come to Denver Mattress and test for yourself. Let our expert sales staff guide you to your perfect Purple. And rest easy knowing it's backed by our 365-night better sleep guarantee. Shop Purple at Denver Mattress, the easiest way to find your perfect Purple.
I need help for my mom. She has dementia.
I want a Grace so Mom can get care at home. You know what people say about them? I can't imagine better support through such a painful time. A Grace. Authentic care and connection. Visit agrace.org to learn more.
Don't miss the 45th Annual Art Fair Off the Square, July 13th and 14th, located in downtown Madison between the Capitol and the Monona Terrace Convention Center. Showcasing the talents and creativity of the Wisconsin Alliance of Artists and Craftspeople, featuring beautiful ceramics, art glass, painting and drawings, photography, sculpture, jewelry, and so much more. Buy local and support your Wisconsin artists and craftspeople, July 13th and 14th. The Art Fair Off the Square. Put it on your calendar today.
When severe weather swept through southern Wisconsin.
This is a tornado emergency,
including multiple destructive tornadoes. Our team delivered the information to help you be prepared and stay safe before, during, and after the storms. Trust News 3 Now First Warn Weather.
There's a lot to love about life in the 608. Fundraisers, farmers markets, family events.
Tell Josh what inspires you, and it might be featured on News 3 Now this morning in the 608. Weekdays only on News 3 Now this morning.
Well, here's a look at Future Track for your Sunday. We are going to see a line of showers and storms in the morning move into our area from the southwest, but each individual location will likely see the rain last only briefly as it moves to the northeast. By the late morning, we're going to be dry, and the dry weather is going to continue for much of the afternoon until we get closer to sunset, where we'll see a line of showers and storms move into the western portion of Wisconsin. Very, very small chance of severe weather, but the severe weather risk is very close to zero. And then as we get towards the hours after sunset, it will continue to push off to the northeast. Best chance of rain will be north of Dane County. But once again, during this time frame, the rain, especially in the southern portion of the state, will likely be very brief. Now, it could be heavy, but it's not going to last very long. And then throughout the overnight hours, we may continue to see some isolated showers and storms. But as a whole, we are not expecting a lot of precipitation. Certainly nothing even close to warrant an alert day. But we could see a few passing showers, one in the morning and then again in the evening.
All right, Jacob, thank you. At least 11 people are dead after Hurricane Beryl hit parts of the Caribbean and Mexico. It's since been weakened to a tropical storm, but it passed over southern Mexico as a hurricane Friday and is now turning through the Gulf of Mexico on its way north. CBS's Janice Shamline is in South Texas with more.
Beryl slammed into Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula as a Category 2 hurricane Friday morning. Winds of up to 110 miles per hour hit tourist areas like Tulum. When Beryl passed over the Caribbean earlier this week, briefly it was a Category 5, the earliest that's happened in the Atlantic on record. Jamaica dodged a direct hit, but the damage on the southern coast stretches for miles.
That roof lifted. Another strong wind come and it blew off.
International aid workers say on some smaller Caribbean islands, several people died and almost every home sustained damage.
It must be noted that we are only at the beginning of the hurricane season. We still have a staggering 5 months to go.
With cleanup there underway, Beryl is now heading north toward Texas and the United States.
Just keeping an eye on the radar. And see what...
This family is enjoying the beach at South Padre Island, but won't be taking any chances this weekend.
Will you head back to McAllen before the storm comes?
Oh, definitely, yeah. We're just here for the day. Just enjoy the weather before it gets a little bad.
Residents along the coast are making preparations, filling sandbags and moving boats from docks.
The damage that we get here at the dock, you'll get some 3 or 4 foot waves coming through here, along with winds and high tides.
The National Hurricane Center is forecasting Beryl to make landfall in South Texas early Monday morning. Janet Shamlian, CBS News, South Padre Island, Texas.
Some other news stories we are following this morning. In central Wisconsin, some residents are back in their homes after Manawa after authorities said the dam on the Little Wolf River was compromised with major damage. It had prompted early evacuations the day after the city received more than 4 inches of rain. The flash flooding at one point blocked all entrances to the city. Some roads are still closed, with residents living near the river having been told to stay cautious. Ballot drop boxes are allowed once again in Wisconsin, coming from a decision on Friday from the state Supreme Court. News 3 Now's Braden Ross has the details.
2 years ago, the Wisconsin Supreme Court ruled that ballot drop boxes like this one could not be used to collect votes. Well, now they've changed their minds.
In 2022, the court decided ballot drop boxes could only be housed in local election clerks' offices, not out in other convenient public places. But after Justice Janet Protasewicz's win last year flipped the court to a liberal majority, a voter mobilization group asked that they take another look.
It's important for elderly people. It's important for people that have that are disabled and people that have jobs that don't allow them to get to the polling place.
This week, in a 4-3 decision, the court overturned that previous decision, saying whether or not to use drop boxes should be up to the discretion of each individual clerk.
Every other state in the Midwest, including our neighbors Iowa, Illinois, Minnesota, Michigan, Indiana, all allow voter drop boxes. And the fact that it was prohibited 2 years ago was an outlier. It never should have been done. And the Supreme Court actually righted a very wrong decision that was made 2 years ago.
All 3 conservative justices on the court dissented, criticizing their liberal counterparts for ignoring the previous decision. Reporting in Madison, Braden Ross, News 3 Now.
Coming up at 8:45, still ahead, Andrew will have a check on sports with a look on the new Packers running back. And let's take a look outside this morning. Jake will have another check of the forecast next on Weekend Mornings.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
I have moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Now there's Skyrizi.
Things are looking up. I've got symptom relief. Control of my Crohn's means everything to me. Control is everything to me.
Feel significant symptom relief at 4 weeks with Skyrizi, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements. Skyrizi is the first IL-23 inhibitor that can deliver remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. And Skyrizi is proven to help deliver long-lasting remission at 1 year.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Liver problems may occur in Crohn's disease.
Now's the time to ask your gastroenterologist how you can take control of your Crohn's with Skyrizi.
Control is everything to me.
Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
To stay on top of my game, I need to keep up my energy.
Cliff Bar is purposely crafted with 10 grams of protein and organic oats.
Because the more good you put in, the more great you get out.
Cliff, the most important ingredient is you.
This is Kathy. She's about to see her dentist. She's afraid. Not because of the drill, but because of the bill. A big bill. But Kathy doesn't need to be afraid, and neither do you, thanks to affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. It's easy to get this coverage. Don't believe me? Call or go online for all the details. You could even have this free information kit. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance. It helps pay for over 400 procedures. That's a lot. I'm talking cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. Bottom line, you'll have help paying for routine care and expensive major work. But if you want deductibles, forget it. There aren't any. No annual maximum either. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Stop fearing the big bill. Start saving at the dentist. Call now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Experience the Channel 3000 News app today. Enjoy a website-like layout and swipe through articles without returning to the home screen. Download the Channel 3000 News app, powered by News 3 Now. News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Good morning, everybody. Here's a look at the 3 things you need to know for this weekend. We'll see fairly quiet weather over the weekend with just a few passing storms on Sunday, but every chance of storm does look to be pretty brief, and also it'll be very early in the day and very late in the day. Now, we are going to see warmer temperatures by next weekend, but we're going to remain just slightly below average for the next several days. So here's a look at today's forecast. Plenty of sunshine, highs in the upper 70s, some clouds throughout the day as well, but not going to see any rainfall. Highs may creep up into the lower 80s for a few locations, but still very comfortable. And temperature-wise, tomorrow will be very comfortable as well, with more 70s in the forecast. But as I mentioned, we are going to see a few showers and storms, with the best chance of storms being in the central portion of the state. So looking at future track, this is starting late tonight into early Sunday morning, Sunday at 2 a.m. to be specific. And we are going to see a line of showers and storms move into our area from the southwest, impacting our area kind of right around sunrise. But because this line of storms will be rather narrow as it moves to the northeast, each individual location will likely not see the rainfall last for too long. It could be heavy for a brief period of time, so don't be surprised if you wake up to some rain for your area. But as we get into the late morning, that rain will clear out, dry for a good portion of the middle of the day. But then as we get closer to sunset, we'll see more showers and storms move into our area. This line of rain will likely last a bit longer, especially for areas north of Dane County in the central portion of the state. You folks may see rain last for a few hours, but in far southern Wisconsin, it once again looks like the rain will be very brief and also not very heavy, with maybe a few isolated showers and storms lasting Sunday night into Monday. But we're looking dry by the time we get to Monday morning. So total precipitation, at least in far southern Wisconsin, will likely not exceed ½ an inch. This is not going to be a huge issue. And even in the central portion of the state, rainfall may get up to a full inch if those areas do indeed see a few thunderstorms. But this is nothing compared to what we've seen over the last couple of weeks, and certainly nothing even close to warrant an alert day. Now, the other story is that temperatures will be near to slightly below average from today through about the middle of next week. But as we get towards next weekend, we are going to see those temperatures begin to warm up. Highs will be in the upper 80s, and looking at the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook, you can see that much of the northern half of the United States will see these above average temperatures. Now, for La Crosse, the temperatures may get into the middle 80s a bit earlier, simply because the dry air will allow the temperatures to warm up a bit more. So middle 80s could happen as early as Tuesday, but upper 80s are in the forecast for the end of the 10-day forecast towards next weekend. And we also aren't expecting a lot of showers or storms, really. We have a few chances of them Monday and then Wednesday, but most of them are not even, we're not even considering an alert day for these days for any reason. So they're likely going to be only a small part of the day if it does rain. But the bigger story going forward, I should say, will be those temperatures, because it will be humid, and who knows, temperatures may continue to rise, and we may even have highs in the 90s by then.
Thank you, Jacob. And now to sports with Andrew.
Josh Jacobs is already making himself at home in Wisconsin. Earlier this week, the brand new Packers running back teamed up with the Milwaukee Fire Department, acting as a firefighter, to promote fire safety for the 4th of July weekend, or the week, you could say. Up in Green Bay this fall, Jacobs, who led the NFL in rushing yards in 2022, will look to continue to stoke the flames of a smoldering Packers offense this season and try to take the Pack to the next level.
Man, I honestly think the sky's the limit in this offense, man. Obviously with having a special guy in Jordan Love, and having a good offensive line and, some good receivers out there make it a lot easier for me. But just to be able to see the game plan and the things that they want me to do this year, the things that they're allowing me to do, I just think it's going to be a special year.
In her sophomore season, Sarah Williams established herself as a certified star, scoring 17 points a game and setting a Big Ten record with 17 straight double-doubles. That's why this summer she'll trade in her Wisconsin jersey for a Team USA uniform for the FIBA 3-on-3 Nations League in Mexico City. The tournament is just what it sounds like, a 3-on-3 basketball tournament that serves as a qualifier for the 2024 FIBA World Cup and the chance to win that gold medal. Her squad will play a team of WNBA All-Stars in late July to tune up before heading south. Meanwhile, Giannis hopes to keep his country in the chase for the Olympics. His Greek national team will play Luka Doncic and Team Slovenia in the semifinal of their Olympic qualifiers today at 9:30 this morning. The winner will be one win away from securing a spot in the Paris Olympics, while the loser will be going home. That's your morning sports fix. Have a whimsical weekend.
Thank you, Andrew. And coming up next, a celebration of all things fried chicken. We'll explain.
Hi, I'm Joe Lanus, Chief Executive Officer for the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra. For the second year in a row, we're excited to bring Building the Community Beat, a video series developed to unite brands who have a shared passion and mission for bringing the community together through music. The Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra's mission of strengthening communities for all people of all ages and abilities is central to everything we do, and it comes out each and every week during Concerts on the Square, where we have up to 40 or 50,000 people experiencing free live music.
Quartz is always looking for new opportunities to reach the communities that we serve. We do this by sponsoring events and partnering with organizations that are in alignment with our efforts to improve health outcomes and advance health equity.
Choosing your healthcare provider is personal. That's why we work to deliver health insurance offerings that support you and your provider in your healthcare journey. Our purpose at Quartz is to ignite the power to create a life well lived. One of the ways that we do that is working with Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra so that we can participate with you in the joy of building community together.
What many people might not know is that I graduated with a flute performance minor and played in the chamber orchestra in the city I lived for many, many years. So when I moved to Madison and had an opportunity to take my family to Concerts on the Square, I loved it. It was a wonderful opportunity to share that part of my personal passion with the community and with my family in particular. My personal passion for Concerts on the Square is really special because Quartz shares that passion. It's a wonderful opportunity for all of us to remain connected, and we look forward to many more years of partnership and community connection.
Concerts on the Square has been part of the Madison cultural landscape for the past 40 years. Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra is so excited to bring it forward with partnerships like Quartz that ensure that it continues to happen.
And done.
Can we just call my dad now? Gorilla Glue.
Of course.
Gorilla Glue is incredibly strong and versatile, even outdoors, for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Why always the couch? Does he need to go to puppy school? Get his little puppy diploma? How much have I been spending on this little guy?
When your questions about life turn into questions about money, there's Erica, the virtual financial assistant to help you spend, save, and plan smarter. Only from Bank of America. What would you like the power to do?
Mission Unstoppable, Saturday morning at 9.
Finally this morning, some good news for fans of fried chicken. While barbecue chicken may be a 4th of July favorite, today is a good one to prepare your poultry with a little more grease. It's because today is National Fried Chicken Day, and it is observed every year on July 6th. Some history: it is believed that the practice of deep frying chicken in fat was imported to the U.S. by Scottish immigrants. A number of fast food chains, including KFC, Popeyes, Burger King, Jack in the Box, and many others, are offering specials to mark the occasion. There is also the hashtag National Fried Chicken Day, so a good one to get out there and enjoy some of that goodness. Here's Jacob with one final check of your Saturday forecast. Jacob, it's a good one if you want to do like a picnic with some of that fried chicken as well, isn't it?
Yeah, conditions today are going to be very nice. We'll have partly sunny skies, highs only in the upper 70s, so it's going to be very comfortable as well. Almost a 0% chance of rain, but tomorrow we are going to see some rainfall. We will see kind of a few rounds of precipitation. We'll see around in the morning, but that will likely not last very long. And then during the evening, it could last a little bit longer, but still, we're not expecting to see that much rain for southern Wisconsin, maybe a bit more in the central portion of the state. But in both cases, it's going to be very early in the day and very late in the day. So the middle of the day does look to be dry, with the exception of maybe a pop-up shower or storm. And then we could see some rain continue for Monday. Temperatures will remain kind of right around average through the middle of the week. By next weekend, we are going to be warmer, but we also are looking fairly dry. So we are going to get a little bit of a break from the heavy rainfall.
All right, Jacob, thank you all for watching. Have a great day. We're back here tomorrow morning at 6:30. We'll see you then.